Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are doing another $50 at the drugstore video today. This time I ventured over to my local Target, which is like 20 miles away from my house. It's a little far, but I picked up a couple of things. My money did not go quite as far this time. A few of these products were a little bit on the pricey side. I'm even trying one new brand that I've never tried before. It should be fun. I'm excited to dip into this stuff. Before we do though, I want to give a special welcome to any of my new visitors. Thank you for joining today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing before you leave. Also, make sure your notifications are turned on. And with that said, we've got some new stuff to dip into, so let's get to it. So I think I gave you a little sneak peek in the thumbnail. Here's another little sneak peek of what I picked up. We're just gonna jump right in with the application instead of walking through everything first. I do have a new foundation to try out. This is from Revolution, Makeup Revolution. I think this foundation is relatively new. Or am I wrong about that? I think maybe the concealer is new. Maybe this has been around for a little while. I have not tried it yet. This is the Revolution IRL Filter Longwear Foundation. It says it's a breathable, soft, matte 16-hour wear foundation. I hope this works for me. I'm mostly concerned about the shade range of this one, so I'll insert a close-up here for you guys. The price on this was $13. A little bit up there for a drugstore foundation, although these days it's hard to find a foundation under $10. One thing I want to note though, do not be fooled by this very nice looking bottle. There's only 0.7 ounces of product inside here. That's a big pet peeve of mine, particularly with foundations. I feel like there should be a rule or a law in the makeup world that you should not be allowed to make a foundation that does not include a full ounce, because most of them do. So I feel like it's a bit of a trick to have like a regular size foundation bottle and then include less than a full ounce, because most people just won't look into that. I'm picky about that sort of thing though, as you guys very well know, but if you actually consider that, that's quite a bit of product that you're not getting, and with it being $13, it makes this almost more like a $18 foundation, so just keep that in mind. I'm crossing my fingers on the shade match. I ended up going with F4. It's really hard to tell inside the bottle because they're kind of this like milky bottle, so you can't really tell what the color of the foundation might be. You're really just left with the little cardstock swatches in front of each of the little makeup sections. So I basically just kind of eeny, meeny, miny mode between a couple different shades. So here's a little swatch of it on the back of my hand. Oh, this looks very pinky in tone. If you have a cool undertone, this definitely has more of a cool kind of peachy undertone. I usually hate undertones like this on me. As far as it being like too light or too dark, I don't think that's gonna be the problem. Just a bit worried this might turn kind of pink on me. I usually like something with a little bit more yellow of an undertone, but we'll see. We'll give it a chance. It is kind of scented. This kind of smells like the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I feel like it's a little bit light, and I do feel like it's a little bit pink on me. Like my face is not going to match my neck today at all. That's already a strike against it, but maybe I'll go put a turtleneck on so that when I'm judging this foundation, I'm simply judging the performance and not the color, or a scarf or something to kind of cover up my neck that's clearly not going to be the same color. It is cold outside today. We got more snow last night. We are drowning in snow here, you guys. It's supposed to be baseball season. What is going on? Although I know we're not the only ones. How are my California viewers doing? Okay, so that was like 2 full pumps. Pretty good coverage. I mean, this is covering really well. It is very much a more matte finish, but it seems to be blending well. I have already done my eyebrows, so I'm trying to stay away from my brows. Today in my brows, I actually love how my brows look, so I started with the ColourPop Feather Effect Clear Brow Wax to kind of brush them into place. Then I let them dry, then I use my Milani Brow Pen, and then on top of that I use the NYX the Glue Brow Gel, which I'm really loving right now. And I'm very happy with how my brows look today. Although I feel like I knocked this one down with my sponge. Let's readjust. Man, should have gone with F5. Definitely feel like the shade match is a little off, but it does have great coverage if you like more of a matte finish. It feels very smooth on the skin. I would say that this is very like pore reducing, probably because the finish. I definitely am noticing my pores look a little bit smoother than they typically do. That said, I still prefer a dewy finish. Like I'd rather have more hydrated filling and looking skin and a little bit of pores showing than mattified skin that fills and looks kind of crusty and dry. That's just me though. And I do have dry skin, which is part of it. Okay, I also have a new concealer today. This was the priciest product I picked up. It is from Winky Lux, which I have been wanting to try this brand out for a really long time. There's been many times where I've dropped into my Target, put something in my cart, but because their products are quite pricey, I always end up talking myself out of trying something. So this is their Peeper Perfect Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. It was $18. $18 for a little tube of very cute packaged concealer. So when I was looking at the Winky Lux section, and this is just a note I want to make about just my Target in general. I went to the West Valley Target. Sorry to call you guys out. It's been a little while since I've been into the Target makeup department. I was shocked at how disorganized and messy and out of stock so many things were. Usually I don't have that happen at Target. Very common at Walmart, not so much at Target, but this time I was surprised at how like disheveled it looked. It almost looked like a TJ Maxx from 10 years ago. Okay, so here is a little swatch. It looks like this will probably be a good match for me. I ended up going with the shade Light. This one has a little bit more of a yellow base. I feel like it's gonna be nice and light and brightening for my under eye area. It's not too yellow though. I would say it's like a peachy yellow. I'm gonna kind of tap it in with my finger. And I know this is meant to be specifically an under eye concealer, but I'm probably just gonna use it everywhere. I probably could get away with using a sponge, but I do think a finger gives you better coverage. Okay, it does have good coverage. I'm curious to see how this sets down. It's very hydrating. It's a lot more thin and creamy than the IT Cosmetics. That one is like thick and pasty, but I almost am a little nervous that this is going to crease. In fact, I don't think I'm going to use it on my eyelids because I have a feeling this probably would not be a good eyelid primer. I might just use like a traditional eyeshadow primer today. Oh, and when I was looking at this, it may have been in the wrong section because the Winky Lux stuff was just kind of all over the place. But when I was calculating how much everything was going to be, I put into my calculations that this was going to be $14, I think, which I still thought was kind of pricey. So when I went to check out and saw that it was $18, I debated. It's in the self-checkout line, so I kind of thought, do I need to ask someone to come over here so I can undo this and then go pick something else out? And I decided, no, it's $4. Just get it. It's a pricey concealer though for the drugstore. Feeling that's the direction that we're going though. Everything's expensive these days. Although eggs are down. Let's not talk about eggs. I could go on about eggs for hours. So I'm just gonna take my sponge. That's pretty well blended in, but I'm just gonna go over, actually I need a little bit more right here. I'm gonna go over everything, make sure it's all blended. Great coverage. We'll have to see how that ends up looking under my eyes if it ends up settling. I tried to steer clear of this area right here because that's where my fine lines are. That's where I get the settling. But we'll see if it settles like in this section right here. I am gonna powder it down just a little bit. Let's take a bit of my peach powder. This is the one I got from Yes Style. I like this powder. It is a little bit white based. Like there's been times if I apply too much, I do notice that this has a bit of a white subtle cast to it. So I just need to make sure I use a really light hand, but it smells so good. I'm not gonna set right there because I wanna see how that sets down, and I just have such dry under eyes. I just don't like to put powder right there. And then I'm gonna go back to my sponge just to make sure that white cast goes away. Let's finish up with the rest of the face. I just wanna start with a little bit of bronzer. I have my Juvia's Place bronzer right here. This is the light version. I'm gonna take this one on the top. I'm gonna start with that one. This one's pretty light, so I like to really build it up in my brush. And then we'll go on top of it with a little bit of the warmer bronzer. I feel like I'm gonna need a lot of bronzer today. Try and get my face to match my neck a little. I'm still working with the lighter, cooler tone. And then we'll add a little bit of the dark, warmer bronzer. Just a tiny bit on top. Okay, that's a lot more bronzer than I typically put on, but I feel like that looks a little bit better. Let's add some highlighter. I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier highlighter today, just because I think this is the highlighter I used yesterday. And I don't really wanna go digging, so. All right, now a little bit of blush. I wanna take my Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blush in Blurred Buff. I don't even think they make this anymore. Now they have the bronzers, which I still have not tried out. The Bare Minerals, is that what they're called? The bronzers? That was on my wish list like a year ago and I still haven't tried those out. I probably should stop doing wish list videos because I sometimes just forget what's on my wish list because something new will come out and kind of take over my focus, and then there's just so much makeup out there. I'd like to try it all, but not enough time, not enough money. Oh, it's so good though. I still have this, so good. Next we're gonna jump into eyeshadow. I just wanna put a little bit of eyeshadow primer on. This one is from Hard Candy. Now for the eyeshadow palette. I picked up the Fresh Greens palette from ColourPop. This was $14. They had quite a few different ColourPop palettes there. I almost picked up the cool, oh, what was it called? It was a very like cool tone, kind of silvery palette. Something metals or metallics, but I wanted to go with the green one because it's March. St. Patrick's Day is around the corner. And it's been a while since I've done like a truly green eyeshadow palette. And as someone that does love greens, especially these types of greens, I have a good feeling about this one. Packaging is interesting. This is different than what I'm used to from ColourPop. I prefer their cardboard packaging above any of their other packaged products. I've never seen a clear lid from them. Clear lids make me a little bit nervous, to be honest, but that's okay. We're gonna just jump right in and give it a try. I'll insert a close-up for you guys right here so you can see what the palette looks like a little bit closer, what the swatches look like. How green are these green tones? They look so pretty. These are the greens that I love, like these tones, these kind of like silvery ones. Not wild about this one. I don't like yellow tone greens as much, but everything else in here looks gorgeous. So let's just jump right in. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a bit. Okay, we'll start off in this shade in this top corner. It's called In Season SZN. I have a feeling it's gonna be a little light on me. Yeah, this is more like a setting powder for me. It's probably not gonna show up very much. You have really fair skin. It is a little bit yellowy, like it's a little more yellow than my skin tone, but all right, now I want to dip into, ooh, this is tough. Do I want to go mint? Do I want to go khaki? Let's swatch both of these. Oh gosh, look at that green. Yes, let's go khaki. That is such a pretty khaki green. So I'm going to take quite a bit on this fluffy blending brush. This is from Persona. Right at the outer corner. Okay, that's kind of dark. I'm not like mad at it, but this being like the first color I'm laying down, I actually might go back on top of this color with that brighter green because I feel like this is much deeper than I was thinking it might be. Wipe that brush off just a bit, then we're gonna go into the mint green. Should have started with this one, but that's okay. We're gonna add just a little bit of that right above the green we just put down. Still pretty. I'm going to take that minty color and run it under the lower lash line. This color is called Cold Pressed. This one is So Tender. Just running it halfway across. Now we're going to jump over to this brown, this dark brown right here. This is Veg Out. And take that smudge brush that I used on the lower lash line, just the back end of my blending brush. And we're going to run this starting along the lash line. Guys, I feel like I'm having some trouble. I don't know that it's the shadow though. So I tried to use some makeup remover on my brush to clean it off and I thought I got all of it off. I think there might be a little bit of that makeup remover left in my brush. I feel like it's giving me a little bit of like weird patchiness there, and I can tell because it's actually making the pans of my eyeshadow look funky. So I feel like this is not the shadows. I kind of think it's like the brush that I dipped into it. So my bad. I'm gonna go in with this brush, the Sydney Grace. I should have cleaned it the old-fashioned way yesterday so they were ready. So I'm gonna go in with this one from Sydney Grace. I don't know if you guys can see the little like skipping right against the lash line, because that's where I think like the densest part of the brush maybe still has a little bit of like makeup remover on it. Anyways, let's try again with this brush. Hopefully I didn't just screw up my eyes completely. Okay, that's much better. Should have just dry washed my brush, just wiped it off really good on a clean rag. Do you guys ever have days where you're doing your eyeshadow and one side is like so good and blended and clean, and then you have a side that the shape is just weird and wonky and just doesn't look as good? Happens to me almost every time I do my eyeshadow, and it's not always the same eye. Okay, I want to take that same brush. I'm going to wipe it off really good with a dry towel, and I want to go back to this green right here. I just feel like I had to work so hard in this outer corner. Some of that green like disappeared. So we're gonna pop this through the crease to really give me some vibrancy. Next time I try out this palette, I'm gonna start with this green, go on top with this green, and use a brush that doesn't have makeup remover in it still. I feel like these shadows are doing well. I just am kind of screwing this up. Being a little sloppy today. That's okay. So I'm really excited to try out this shade. I think this is so pretty. It's kind of deep, but it's also like silvery and reflective. So we're gonna put this on the outer half of the lid. And this one I'm not too worried because I kind of screwed up my outer corner. I'm not too worried about going over those matte shades. Usually I like to avoid putting a shimmer out here, but I didn't do a very good job in my outer corner today. So I'm just gonna pop this over the top. Clean up a bit of that mess and kind of patchiness from my brush mishap. That is such a pretty color though, guys. Holy smokes. I don't know that I have a green quite like this. And I don't even usually like dark shades like this, but that is so pretty on the outer half of the lid. It's like just green enough. All right, now we need to have a competition between these two shades. I can't decide which one I want to use. Let's give them a quick little live swatch. So this one's Killed It. Oh, that's funny. And then this one is Farmer's Market, a little bit more minty. So we have kind of this silvery one. It's like a silvery champagne green. And then like it's almost like a yellowy, minty green. Those are equally beautiful. Gosh. Let's do this one, and then we might pop a little bit of this minty one on the inner corner. Let's do that. So I'm just gonna take my finger. Ooh, this is rich, like super metallic. Wow, look at that. I love that. Holy smokes. That is so pretty, you guys. I am loving those two shades. These two, like buy this palette just for these two shades right here. They are so good. Like Sydney Grace good. These are amazing. Oh, and those colors go together so well. Look how beautiful that is, guys. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite eye looks I've done in a while, despite the screw ups in the beginning. Never give up. There's a life lesson for you. Okay, let's go in with a little bit of this Farmer's Market shade and pop that right on the inner corner. Okay, let's add a little bit of liner. I want to do a black wing liner. Just feel like this dramatic of a look kind of calls for it. So I'm gonna take this little tiny angled brush here. My liner is starting to look so mangled and old, but I am still loving this Natasha Denona black gel liner. It's just so black. Okay, there we go. So we do have a new mascara to try out today. This is from e.l.f. This is the Lash Enroll mascara from e.l.f. I don't know anything about this. I am sure lots of people have reviewed this. It's probably been around forever. I feel like I'm kind of out of the loop these days, you guys, but we're gonna give it a try. I do love their Lash It Loud mascara, and I'm very curious about this one. So let's give this a try. This one was $6. It does have a rubberized brush. It's kind of curved. I did already curl my lashes about an hour ago, just a little bit before starting this video. So, ooh, this is, careful. It's a little sharp. So is the Lash It Loud, by the way. That's also kind of a sharp mascara brush. You have to be just a little cautious with it. All right, guys, eyes are done. This might be one of the prettiest eye looks I've done in a long time. I love this eyeshadow. It is so, so pretty. So happy I went with the green palette. As for the mascara, really good. I actually like this a lot. It kind of reminds me of the Tower 28 mascara a little bit. It does kind of curl your lashes a little bit. It's nice and like, oh, I've got a little smudge right there. It's nice and separating, not clumpy, works well on the lower lashes. We'll see. I'm gonna need a little bit more time with it. We'll see how it wears, how it removes, but it did kind of remind me of the Tower 28 with a slightly sharper rubberized brush. So I have just one more thing to share with you guys. This is from LA Girl. This is the LA Girl Luminous Lip Gloss. This was $4.99. No, scratch that, $5.99. I ended up going with the shade Peach. I do want to start with a little bit of lip liner. Let's start off with just a little bit of lip liner though. I'm gonna take this one, 03 Nude from Milani. Add just a bit of this around my lips that have gobs of concealer on them. Sorry about that, guys, or foundation probably. All right, now let's take a look at the lip gloss. So here it is. This is the color Peach. Let's give it a little swatch on the back of my hand. All right, so there's the shade. Ooh, that's pretty. I would say it's more like beige than peach, but like a brown toned. Hopefully it's not too dark. Oh no, I like that. That's pretty. It's very, I don't know what I'd call it, sticky, but it's really like thick feeling. Like when you rub your lips together, you can really feel how thick it is, but I actually really like the look of that. I think it goes really well with my cheeks and my eyes as well. Man, good choices today. Everything went together really well. So this is the finished makeup look. Should I don't know, my hair looks fine pinned up. I'm afraid if I take it down, because it's a little damp, that it'll be all dented. So let's just call it good here. This is the finished makeup look, you guys. This is what actually it was a little more than $50. Ended up being $56.99 before tax, which bumped me right over $60. So technically I'm kind of cheating today. We'd probably have to knock out the lip gloss or the mascara. I'm kind of giving myself a pass and blaming the disorganized Target for the pricing issues, but that's okay. This is about what $50 at Target got me. I'm really happy with everything so far. I'm gonna hold off on the foundation. I definitely need to use it a little bit more. I did not love the shade match. This is one that I feel like if I combine this with my slightly darker, more yellow toned Luminous foundation from ABH, that might be a really good combo. I sometimes like combining long wearing foundations with my more luminous foundations and getting like a hybrid. So I'm gonna keep playing with this and try it out. We'll see how it wears. It definitely is a matte foundation. Like this is good for those of you, I would say, that don't like your glossy or dewy or hydrating foundations. As for the concealer, I am seeing some settling right here, so I'll have to keep playing with this one. It was really nice and hydrating, but I'm not sure that this will work well for me under my eyes because I do have a lot of fine lines. The eyeshadow palette, definite win. Even with the struggles I had with it initially going on, it all came together so nicely despite the issues with my dirty brush. Love the shimmers in this, you guys. These 3 shimmers right here are stellar. I mean, they are Sydney Grace reflective quality, which I don't usually get from most ColourPop shimmers. These ones are exceptional. I will, of course, keep playing with it. There's a couple shades in here I have not yet tried out, but so far I am very, very happy with this and excited to reach for it again. Really like the lip gloss as well. Really nice nude shade for me. It's a slightly warmer nude, but it looks great with this makeup look today. What did you guys think? Have you guys tried any of these products out before? If you guys tried out this mascara, what did you think of it? I'll try and keep you guys updated on the mascara and the foundation in particular, so check for that down below. So $50 may not have gone as far at Target, but I'm actually pretty thrilled with a couple of these products today. So that's gonna do it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys have tried any of these out, if you have any thoughts, let us know if some of these worked out for you down below. But that's gonna do it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're all doing well. Let me remind you one more time, subscribe if you have not yet, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.